Hello my friends, I am Bumbi, Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. It is snowing today, it is cold, dark and I am feeling a bit under the weather. So I thought of making something very simple and easy using pantry staples, but it will be really very delicious. Heat about 4 tablespoons of oil in a deep heavy bottomed pot over medium heat. Once the oil turns hot but not smoking hot, lower the heat to low and add a dry bay leaf, half a teaspoon of cumin seeds and half a teaspoon of black mustard seeds. Whenever you use black mustard seeds, you have to wait for them to splutter. Only then will they release their flavor in oil, or else they may taste bitter. But when they just start to splutter, if you are a beginner, then it will be a good idea to loosely put a lid on top so that the hot popping seeds do not fly around. Take off the lid once the seeds stop spluttering and then immediately add chopped onions. Add a fourth of a teaspoon of salt and fry the onions on medium heat. You do not need to brown the onions too much. Remember, this is a stew, so keep everything simple and elegant. When the onions look a bit pale in color, in goes a chopped carrot and a chopped sweet potato. Then the aromatics, that is a teaspoon of finely grated ginger and a teaspoon of finely grated garlic. Now stir everything on medium-high heat for about 3 to 4 minutes. You can also add celery, leeks or chopped fennel if you like. All those will also bring in a lot of flavor. Then it is spice time. Half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and half a teaspoon of Kashmiri chilli powder. Stir everything on medium heat for 2 minutes and then I added chopped red bell pepper. Mix the bell pepper with the other veggies and then I added 2 cans of cooked chickpeas. I forgot to do this earlier, but I will be saving about a fourth or a third of a cup maybe of chickpeas, and I will tell you why later on. I like to discard the water whenever I use canned chickpeas, as they look slimy and not at all appealing to my eyes. Then I give the chickpeas a quick rinse under tap water. You can also use dry chickpeas. In that case, soak them overnight and then cook them till they turn tender but not mushy. You can use canned chickpeas, dry chickpeas, use whatever you like. I like saving those canned chickpeas for days when I want to make something quick and easy. And there is nothing to feel bad about that because there is no harm in using canned ones. Okay, so stir everything on high heat. Lay them out a little bit for about a minute on high heat and again give a stir for a few minutes. Next, it's time for the coconut milk to go in. Now my friends, I always use full-fat unsweetened coconut milk. I do not like using low-fat. To tell you the truth, I don't even look at them. My husband doesn't like coconut milk, but I love it. So today I used 2 whole cans of coconut milk and 1 cup of hot water. You can substitute the hot water for vegetable broth or maybe chicken broth if you're a non-vegetarian. I added 1 heaped teaspoon of salt and about a fourth of a teaspoon of black pepper powder. See, now it's looking like a soup and it is too liquidy. We want it to be thicker. I felt that it was looking a bit pale, so I added another fourth of a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Please remember, never add too much of turmeric powder to any curry because it will just ruin your dish with a bitter aftertaste. Allow it to come up to a boil on a gentle medium heat. Too high heat may make your coconut milk to split. Okay, once it starts to bubble up, lower the heat to low and keep it uncovered like this on slow heat for 30 minutes. If you are not using canned chickpeas and if you are cooking dry ones, then please don't cook them to the point that they turn mushy. If by chance you feel your chickpeas have become too soft, then simmer it in coconut milk for just 10 to 15 minutes depending on how soft they've become. Okay, in the meantime I heated a small pan over low heat. I added a teaspoon of cumin seeds, that is jeera. Stir them continuously on low heat till they become fragrant and they turn a little darker in color. Do not wait for them to turn too dark because then they will turn bitter. Once they have this little browning over them, take them out immediately onto a mortar and pestle and grind them to a powder. And this is how beautiful they look, and they have this gorgeous smoky and earthy smell. You need to add this at the very end as they are roasted. Next, remember we saved a little bit of those chickpeas? Mash them up very well and then add them into the stew at the 15-minute mark. They will help in thickening up the stew. Next, add a teaspoon of Garam Masala powder, and today I am using dried thyme. Do you know thyme helps in digestion? My friends from India, you can add ajwain, that is carom seeds, but add them in the beginning along with mustard and cumin seeds. I also added chopped green chilies, and more greens are on the way. Chopped broccoli. Do a taste test at this point and adjust the seasonings. I felt the need to add a little more of salt. Then I added green beans. Now I freeze my green beans after blanching them a little. If you are using fresh ones, add them along with the broccoli. To spice it up more, I added 1/4 of a teaspoon of red chili flakes, which is totally optional. At the 30 minutes mark, I added greens of green onions and chopped cilantro, that is coriander leaves. You do not have to add these greens. You can use spinach or Swiss chard, basil, mint, parsley, anything will do. Use whatever you like or is on hand. It's your kitchen, my friend, and you are the king or queen of your kitchen. Add a squeeze of lemon or lime juice to bring in that freshness. Now it has thickened up and it is looking more like a stew, so heat off. Sprinkle that roasted cumin powder that you made earlier, but save a little so that you can sprinkle it after plating. Serve this with hot steamed rice, or you can also have it with bread. And in case if you're wondering how I presented those red chickpeas, I just mixed some sweet paprika with chickpeas and garnished them on top. You can also top it with thick yogurt or sour cream, but that's totally optional. It is warm, comforting, and I'm sure it will make you feel better. Bye bye.